welcome in here for Game 9 of the 2018 USA South Baseball Tournament. A strikeout for Stewart, but he will reach first. That's our leadoff batter, Will Cosby. So goes in the stats as a strikeout for Stewart, but Cosby aboard at first. No outs on the board. Wes Powell stands in. Joining you for the call, I'm Danielle Percival, joined by Wes Gullett. Tandem crew here tonight. Glad to have you joining us. Ryan Stewart working on the mound for Piedmont. Bunt shown. Powell sends it up to Stewart. Sends it to first, and the sacrifice bunt moves Cosby over to second.
Very tough break there to start out the ball game. Piedmont catcher Noah Heatherly unable to crowd that, allow Cosby to reach, and now he's finds himself 180 feet away from home base.
Taylor Fott now stands in, the first baseman for the Hawks. We'll go through and give you the defensive order with a break in the action. Connects and sends it deep out to left field, but running in, making the grab will be Jabin Smith. A fly out to left is the second out of the inning.
Ryan Stewart, Danielle showing great composure following the strikeout and reach on a wild pitch. He's now come back to get 2 quick outs.
Cleanup hitter Chandler DeRue, the designated hitter for the Hawks, now stands in at the plate. Lefty for the Hawks. Sends the first pitch he sees up the middle. Hawks sending the runner home, and in under the tag. Cosby comes around to score, and the Hawks lead it 1-0. 1 run on 1 hit so far, with DeRue now at first.
The way we've seen the tournament play out so far, getting on the board first is definitely a big advantage to the teams here, and Huntington was able to capitalize on the Piedmont error.
Tough turnaround for Piedmont after taking a 5-4 loss in 10 innings in the game prior. In Game 8 of the tournament, we're here in Game 9. 2 more games of action here from Cleveland Field. Making the grab on the run is Brady Ballstat in center field, but the Hawks able to put 1 run across on 1 hit, and we have a 1-0 game as we head to the home half of the first. You're watching the 2018 USA South Baseball Tournament.
back here live, Cleveland Field. Danielle Percival, Les Miller joining me for this elimination game of the 2018 USA South Athletic Conference Tournament. And leading things off here in the bottom half of the first inning from Piedmont is the left fielder, number 1, Jabin Smith. Takes the first pitch in there for strike number 1 from Jared McFall, the southpaw for the Hawks. The 0-1 pitch. Slider catches outside corner. 0-2. Leadoff hitter here for Piedmont finds himself in the 0-2 hole. McFall sets and delivers the 0-2 pitch well inside for ball number 1.
Come on, Jared.
Pitch from McFall. Smith places it up the middle. Great piece of hitting there. The pitch is a little bit inside, and Smith put the ball right back where it came from. So leadoff single here, much like the top half of the first inning, with the leadoff runner getting aboard. And now bring up the right fielder in Justin Groover.
Groover, one of several players for Piedmont 4 that have started every contest of the season. Your everyday right fielder for the Lions.
Groover squares up the bunt. Smith going on the pitch, takes the ball low. And out of second is Smith for out number 1 in the inning. So ball 1 on the pitch. So Groover ahead in the count 1-0, but the leadoff single by Smith is wiped out on the call stealing.
No more sack bunt opportunity. We saw Groover in that position several times in the last contest.
As Groover rolls over the 1-0 pitch, foul for strike number 1. He was on the count of 1 ball, 1 strike.
Come on, Jared.
So on the broadcast yesterday, Daniel, you mentioned Piedmont College as the comeback kids. They've been doing it all season and definitely doing it here in the tournament.
Unable to do so in the last contest. Nice walk-off win for the home team, the LaGrange Panthers, as they move on as the 6th seed with a pair of wins and will face, I believe it's NC Wesleyan tomorrow at noon.
So the count 2 balls, 1 strike here to the Piedmont College right fielder. He'll take that one upstairs. Fastball missed the zone. Now ahead in the count well. 3 balls, 1 strike. Definitely a hitter's count here. Groover fouls that one back over the backstop. Will be a full vote. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Groover, 3-2 pitch, laced into left center field. He'll be standing on first with 1 out. So that call still can definitely come up big here for Piedmont.
Absolutely. Whereas you could have a pair of runners, possibly even on the corners. Now it's just 1 on and 1 out for Brady Ballstat, named the USA South Player of the Year earlier this week.
So looking at the defensive alignment for Huntington, Chris Fisher's in left. In center field is Joseph Calvert, and right field is Will Cosby. From third to first, Corey Lowe manning the bag at third base. Shortstop's Wes Powell. Second base is Bradley Harris, and Taylor Fott at first. And completing the tandem for the Hawks is Judd Owens behind the plate. So a pickoff attempt back easily there is Groover. First pitch of the at-bat to Ballstaff faces upstairs for ball number 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. Pickoff attempt once again, which is a story of a lot of baseball here in the USA South Athletic Conference Tournament. As both of these teams have a lot of speed when they get on the base paths. Big ball checks the runner, delivers the 1-0 pitch. Fly ball, shallow right field, and that will land just foul for strike number 1.
Ballstat 3 for 5 in the game that just was completed about an hour ago. Had 3 hits to start the game, a pair of singles and a double. Unsuccessful in the last 2 at-bats. Looking to combine on the success of Piedmont's hitters early in the lineup.
So Ballstaff faces a 1-1 count. Big ball looks at the runner, takes his time, and pickoff attempt, and back safely at first is Groover.
Jared.
1-1 pitch to Ballstaff. Fouled off and now behind the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Right up near the top of the netting, as you may have heard some of the exclamations from the crowd. That one close to coming in for a little souvenir.
Little fun stories by the SID crew up in the press box. Associate Commissioner Mike Christie staking claim from a Red Sox game, but we don't know if it to be true. As that pitch misses up high for ball number 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
What kind of hitter now? Jared, go Hawks, be up.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes here on Ballstaff. Ground ball, fair down the left field line. Groover around second, on his way to third, and he's going to be waved home. He'll be in standing up, and Piedmont College has battled back here in the bottom half of the first inning to tie things up at 1 apiece with 1 out, following a Ballstaff double.
Nice piece of hitting down the left field line, as it was just placed on the right side of the bag there at third. Got kind of tucked into that corner where Fisher had a little trouble gauging where it was going to ricochet and go, and able to send Groover around from first. But as you mentioned earlier, the caught stealing for the leadoff batter, Smith, really costly there, as the Lions could have ended up taking the lead in the bottom of the first.
As Huntington head coach DJ Conville will walk out and talk to his pitcher. Jared McFall, a sophomore left-hander, 5'9", 155 pounds, from nearby Noonan, Georgia.
Due up for the Lions will be Andrew Burden. Piedmont 3 for 3 at the plate through the first 3 batters, but with 1 out on the board as well.
So Conville retreats to the first base dugout. Burden will step in the left-hand batter's box. So Ballstaff stands on second base following an RBI double. First pitch to Burden, ground ball over to first base. Crowd there by Taylor Fott, who steps on the bag for out number 2 in the inning. But Ballstaff will move up to third base, 90 feet from home. bring up the designated hitter and Jonathan Burkett. First pitch, ground ball. Corey goes straight down, throws the ball wild, and now Piedmont is ahead 2-1 here in the bottom half of the first inning following an error. So an E5 on throw by Corey Lowe, as Taylor Fott had no shot to crowd that ball. And that'll bring up the sixth batter of the inning, and Tyler Burdett. So Burkett takes his lead over at first, and McFall checks him. Burdett takes the first pitch for strike number 1.
Low and away to even the count.
So McFall toes the rubber, checks a runner at first, and delivers the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball through the middle. Great play by the second baseman for Huntington, who finds the shortstop standing on the second base bag and retires the lines. But not before Piedmont strikes for 2 runs. They'll take a 2-1 lead as we head to the top half of the second inning here in the USA South Athletic Conference Baseball Tournament. We're back here live at Cleveland Field as we return for the top half of the second inning. Piedmont College holding a 2-1 lead following a 2-run first inning. Due up here for Huntington College in the second is the second baseman Bradley Harris, the center fielder Joseph Calvert, and the 8-hole hitter and Chris Fisher. As the right-hand pitcher Ryan Storr still in the mound for Piedmont, he delivers the first pitch down low in the dirt for ball number 1. Stewart falls behind the count again early. 1-0 pitch on the way. Line drive into left field. That'll get down for a single. As Javen Smith gets over quickly to grab it. So leadoff runner aboard once again. Neither team's been able to retire the leadoff hitter so far in the ball game.
These two teams faced off in the regular season, playing a 3-game stint at Piedmont. Piedmont took the series 2-1, won the first one 3-2 in 12 innings. Second one was also a 1-run game with a 4-3 victory going in favor of Piedmont. But the Hawks took the series finale 8-6. So these two teams played really close contests in the regular season. And right now we've got a tight, tough battle early on here as well.
So Stewart falls behind the hitter Calvert for ball number 1. 1 ball, no strike. Harris takes his lead over at first, off on the crack of the bat. As Calvert fouls that one down the left field line. He ends up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Stewart took the loss in that series finale as he's primarily been Piedmont's number 3 starter, taking those series finale games. Made it just 2 2/3 against the Hawks, giving up 3 runs on 6 hits, facing 15 batters.
1-1 pitch. Calvert lays down a beautiful bunt on the third base line. And the Lions third baseman, Aiden Meade, comes up with a great throw and strike over the first baseman, Andrew Burden, who held the bag for an out. E.J. Conville not happy with the call for Huntington College. Not even close. He'll retreat back to the third base coach's box. 1 down now in the inning with the runner on second base.
Come on, Blue!
Up the left fielder, Chris Fisher.
Come on, get to the game. Wake up.
So Fisher digs in here with 1 down. As Harris stands on second. Fouled off at the plate for strike number 1.
Go, Chris. Come on, Fisher.
Stewart wants a new baseball after that one's fouled off at
Chris,
the
tie
plate.
up here. It's not.
So 2-1 just score in favor of Piedmont. We're in the top half of the second inning with 1 down and an 0-1 count on Chris Fisher. Pickoff attempt. Looked like Harris had a sizable lead. And the shortstop Caleb Norton came over and fielded the pickoff attempt, but back safely was Harris. The 0-1 pitch to Fisher upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Chris.
So the 1-1 pitch upcoming from Stewart. And delivers in the dirt. That'll get by the catcher, Heatherly, so that'll be a wild pitch charge to Stewart. Now the tying run stands on third base.
Fisher, spending his time out in left field defensively, earned the start in 2 of the 3 games these two played in the regular season, but was in that designated hitter slot. Had some success in that spot as he was 3 for 5 at the plate in that final game that the Hawks were able to take 8-6.
Fly ball, shallow left field. Smith comes on and grabs it. Runners tagging Smith with a rainbow throw to the plate. That'll be cut off by Andrew Burden. And the runner Harris will have to stay at third. Now 2 down in the inning.
Number 6, Corey Lowe.
Let's go, 6.
So Smith with a strong throw from his left field position was able to keep the 2-1 lead intact for the Lions.
Big play by the left fielder to hold the runner. Now with 2 outs on the board, we'll see if the Lions can hold the lead runner, as the leadoff runner came around to score in the top of the first, with Will Cosby, the leadoff hitter, reaching on that strikeout and then a wild pitch.
So Corey Lowe steps in the left-hander's batter's box, takes the first pitch for ball number 1. Then he pops this one into shallow left center field, and Smith will come on. His second put out of the inning, and the threat is neutralized by the Hawks. So we head to the bottom half of the second inning with Piedmont College leading 2-1 here on the USA South Sports Network. back here live, Cleveland Field on the campus of LaGrange College. Game number 9 of the 2018 USA South Athletic Conference Baseball Tournament. This is an elimination game featuring the Lions of Piedmont College, who's the designated home team, and the Hawks of Huntington College. First pitch to Noah Heatherly from McFall is grounded over to third, right into the mitt of Corey Lowe, who fires across the diamond. So quickly, one up, one down here for Piedmont.
Now batting for Lions,
And
number
that'll
10,
bring up the
Evan
8-hole
Mead.
hitter in Evan Mead. So Mead digs in here to face Jared McFall. First pitch, towing fly ball, left center field gap, and that's going to get down. Mead around first. He'll find his way on second with a one-out double, and the Lions have a runner in scoring position here. And that'll bring up Caleb Norton, the shortstop.
For Meade, he was just 1 for 9 combined over those 3 games that these two played in Demarest. So big start with the double there in his first at bat.
So RBI opportunity here for Caleb Norton. He digs in to face McFall. McFall takes a look back at Meade, and a pickoff attempt. Great stop there by the Hawks' second baseman in Bradley Harris. So the first pitch waiting for Norton is delivered. Slider misses on the inside for ball number 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. McFall checks runner at second, sets and delivers the pitch. Line drive to left field. And Meade will be held up at first base. So runners on the corner here for Piedmont, looking to add on to their 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the second.
Norton had been struggling at the plate earlier today, had a hit in his first at bat against LaGrange, but then had 3 strikeouts swinging. So big for the senior to be able to get off to the right start for the Lions as we're back to the top of the order.
Javen Smith will step in here 1 for 1 in the ball game with a single in the first before being caught stealing. So 1 down in the inning. Runners on the corner for the Lions. Pickoff attempt to first base. Caleb Norton's back in there safely. So Evan Meade stands on third, Caleb Norton on first for the Lions. Smith patiently waits the first pitch of the at-bat and is on his way from McFall. Fastball outside for ball number 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. Ball looks in and gets a sign from Judd Owens, the catcher. And the 1-0 pitch being delivered downstairs as well, 2-0. So Danielle, in game number 1 with Piedmont as well as so far here in the game, they definitely showed a lot of patience at the plate.
Yeah, the Piedmont hitters worked a lot of full counts in that game against LaGrange. We've seen a couple already today as well.
As a 2-0 pitch chopped to first base, but foul for strike number 1. They've been a good opportunity to get a run home for the Lions, but Smith unable to keep the ball fair.
Come on, Derek. Get back even here, Derek. Come now.
So the 2-1 pitch upcoming from the fall with 1 down the inning, but not before a pickoff attempt to first, and Norton back safely standing up. 2 ball, 1 strikeout. Another pickoff attempt. So 2 straight pickoff attempts there by McFall, trying to keep Norton honest at first base. Norton shrinks his lead about 5 feet over at first. 2-1 pitch, fouled off at the plate. Down even the count of 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You mentioned the threat on the base paths that both of these teams can present. Norton 8 for 10 on stolen base attempts. Not as high as some of the attempt numbers that you may see from a couple other batters near the heart of the order for Piedmont, but still fairly successful when he does take off.
So Smith facing a 2-2 pitch on McFall. He'll foul that one back. Off the netting. Will be a 2-2 pitch once again. Smith steps out of the left-hand batter's box, gains his composure. 29 pitches already in the ball game for McFall. As it looked like Norton was leaning there, caught the attention of McFall, who fired over first. So Norton had to dive back in head first.
Those Piedmont runners on the base paths really good at those mind games and really getting in the head of the pitcher and making them really think about those runners on base and concentrate on them.
They're back. Let's go here.
So count and mass game continues between Norton and McFall. Smith still waiting the 2-2 pitch from the Hawk southpaw. 2-2 pitch on the way, swung on, ground ball into right field. 1 runner across, Norton rounds second, throws on the brakes late, and he'll be thrown out trying to get back to second base for his second out of the inning. So a tough break there for Piedmont. They look to have had runners on the corner, but Norton went through the brakes on late, couldn't quite get back to the bag, and was tagged out for out number 2, and now to bring up to the plate the right fielder, Justin Groover.
Come on, Jared, set him off.
3 hits in both innings so far for the Lions, and a couple base running errors that have provided an out in each of them as well.
So 2 down in the inning. Groover takes the first pitch from McFall. The fastball missed upstairs for ball number 1. So runner on first, that's Smith following the RBI single. Breaking ball misses downstairs, now 2-0 on the Piedmont right fielder.
Come on, Jared, back. Come on here.
Pickoff attempt, backs up standing is Smith. And Owens will go out and talk to McFall. A long day of baseball here in LaGrange, North Carolina, the 2018 USA South Athletic Conference Tournament. Game number 3 of 4 here at Cleveland Field. Gruber steps back in, facing the 2-0 pitch. Runner goes, that's Smith, and he'll have it this time. So a stolen base, 50% in the ball game. 1 for 2 now on stolen base attempts, and he finds himself in scoring position as Gruber takes ball number 3. McFall checks the runner, delivers a 3-0 pitch. That one missed outside. So 2-out walk. Loose runners on first and second. And that'll bring up the center fielder and Brady Ballstadt.
McFall pitched 7 innings in game 2 against Piedmont. Took a no decision. Piedmont ended up taking the game 4-3. McFall pitched 7 innings, giving up 3 earned runs on 5 hits. Similar numbers so far, but of course, just working here in the second.
Runner goes to third and stolen base. And DJ Conville taking a stroll to the base pass to talk with the third base umpire. Stolen base awarded there as Groover waited until the throw went down. So Conville gets his piece heard and walks back to the dugout. So the second time Conville has had a conversation with the umpires in the ball game. So Brady Ballstat digs back into the batter's box behind the count and 0-1. So Piedmont threatening here to add on to the 3-1 lead. We're here in the bottom half of the second inning. As that was fouled straight back for strike number 2. So the Lions center fielder behind the count 0-2.
Ballstat had an RBI double to score the first run of the game for Piedmont.
So 0-2 pitch upcoming from McFall. Sesson delivers, line down into left field, one run across. And Groover also coming around to score, so a 2 RBI single by Ballstat. And Piedmont's broke the game open here, 5-1 in the bottom of the second with 3 runs. Still 2 down in the inning. That'll bring up Andrew Burton, the first baseman.
Ballstat now 2 for 2 at the plate. Both his hits have been well placed down that left field line, a single and a double. He's now got 3 RBI.
So a big game for Ballstat as the Lions look to be in control here early. Runner goes from first. That's Ballstat, and he will get in there with no throw, so a stolen base. And another runner in scoring position for Piedmont.
I mentioned that a couple of Piedmont's runners there at the heart of the order had several more attempts than Norton, who we threw out numbers on earlier. Brady Ballstat was 23 of 25 on stolen base attempts coming into this tournament. Pretty good odds.
Very good odds. Very smart on the base pass as Piedmont's playing some small ball here, getting runners in scoring position, but an outstanding job in situational hitting as well. That pitch misses for ball number 1. He ends up with a count of 1 ball, 1 strike.
Come on, Darren.
So the 1-1 pitch upcoming here to Andrew Burton. The ball takes a peek back at Ballstat at second base. And delivers the 1-1 pitch. Curveball swung through and missed for strike number 2. Outstanding pitch selection there by the Hawks left-hander. That one's hit into center field where Calvert will go over, but not for Piedmont as on the lead. They take a 5-1 lead as we head to the top of the third here at the USA South Athletic Conference Baseball Tournament.
action here with Huntington now batting. Will Cosby to the plate. Top of the order for the Hawks. Patrick Amon's looking at West Coast taking a break. Worked most of the games already this tournament. Pitch number 2 fouled away for strike 1.
Top of the order for Huntington. Cosby reached back in the first as the leadoff batter, though it was credited as a strikeout for Stewart. Also a wild pitch.
1-1 pitch from Stewart, high and away. Ball 1. Offering now. And a check swing pulled too far through by Will Cosby. 2-2 count. Piedmont leading 5-1. Open stance towards first base for Cosby. Now rides high outside of the zone.
The leadoff batter has reached for Huntington in both of the first 2 innings. We'll see who can win the battle here between Cosby and Stewart. Start the third.
Payoff pitch hit the front leg of Cosby. So the HBP will send him to first.
Now batting for the Hawks is number 42, Wes Powell.
Wes Powell, valuable step up to the plate.
No official at bats so far today at a sac bunt back in the first to advance Cosby.
Clean count now. Too far to the inside. The ball 1.
Third 30 here, Wes. Let's go now.
Stewart on the mound. The delivery runner goes. Strike is called. The runner safe on second. Stewart now evens the count. After that one finds the zone. 1 now in scoring position for the Hawks. Wes Powell readies up in the box. Cosby 3-step lead towards third. Stewart comes to stance, delivers. This one's popped up high and over the backstop for a foul ball, strike 2. Stewart ahead the 1-2 count. This position on the rubber, pushes off. This one's behind the hole between third and shortstop. Smith will field it in the middle of left field. Base hit, and soon the runner to third is Cosby now ready to run home.
Stepping up to bat for the Hawks is number 4, Taylor Fott.
Taylor Fott up to bat next. We'll check down the third base line to get the signal. Noah Heatherly, Piedmont catcher, steps above the plate. Calls out the first and third plate for the Lions.
Decent crowd here for both sides as the 2 teams that are closest to LaGrange. Still tough to travel midweek, but a decent crowd on both sides.
Short lead off for both on the corners. Base hit and more as one comes across. Lead to 3 here in the top of the third.
Now batting for the Hawks is number 16, Chandler.
Still no outs on the board with 2 in scoring position, and now your tying run coming up to bat.
Guerrero at the plate. Ready is up. Neutral stance for the senior. Stewart readies on the mound. Steps, delivers. Finds a low inside corner for a strike 1.
Quite the opposite problem that we saw in Game 8, which is the game that LaGrange won 5-4 over Piedmont in extras. A lack of scoring sent us to extras as neither team could score after the 6th. Quite the opposite problem here is, well, nobody can put up a 0. Piedmont managed one in the top of the 2nd, but the offense is on fire right now.
0-1 offering from Stewart. Hits the edge for strike 2. So now Stewart ahead here with 2 on. No outs. Ryan Stewart on the mound, the 0-2 offering. Wanted to catch him swinging one outside, but the veteran batter washed it, missed the zone for ball 1. Once the pitch, Johnson's along the plate. Leaves the count 2-2. Stewart was ahead early in the 0-2 count, and back-to-back, missing the zone. Score still favoring Piedmont. 2 now in scoring position. As Daniel mentioned, tying run at the plate. Stewart ready, the 2-2 offering. Almost flips the right leg there in a row. The ball 3. Count loads up again.
Come on now. Let's knock here. Let's get her a walk.
3-2 pitch. Load up. Judd Owens.
Now batting the box, number 9, Judd Owens.
Come to the plate, but not before Coach Scally heads out to the mound to have a word with both his battery as well as the rest of the infield.
We do see some action in the Piedmont bullpen. Will be interesting to see who the Lions go to after having just played one contest prior to this, having to treat it basically like a double header. Piedmont had several doubleheaders through the course of the USA South regular season due to some rainouts. Mother Nature, of course, always the key factor in the spring, liking to wreak havoc on everyone's schedule. And so some experience with doubleheaders, so not a foreign concept, though not as familiar maybe as you'd like it to be. But of course, in a tournament setting, pitching always the key because you've got to be able to save arms, and it's really a balancing act.
And probably difficult for the coaching staff as well because you don't know if you're going to have to play that second game today. So Scally brought in Buddy Green there at the end of their contest. He's usually a closer in game 2. Stewart still out there. 3-count pitch popped up towards center field. Ballstack and Groover both track underneath it. Ballstack gathers in the first down. Long throw, tries to get them to the beat. Third, he's safe trying to get him. Bring it back to the plate. 2 runs now coming across for the Hawks. The top of the 3rd. Close to the runners on the corners. Heatherly steps back up to give the sign to the Piedmont infield, letting them know what to do if the ball gets hit inside the grass.
Bradley Harris had a leadoff single back in the 2nd inning, was stranded at 3rd, but reached 2nd and then went to 3rd on a wild pitch. But Stewart able to limit the damage, the only 0 that we've got up on the scoreboard right now.
First offering here to Harris. Finds the inside edge for strike 1. 0-1 count with 1 out. 2 aboard.
Come on, Brad. Face knock here.
Stewart likes the sign he sees from Heatherly. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, chopped out towards 3rd base. Meade makes the grab, and the 3rd and 2nd is there on time. Running across. Fielder's choice. One-run
Now batting the
differential between
box,
these 2
number 8,
teams.
Joseph Calvert.
Piedmont leading by 1. 2 outs. Center fielder Joseph Calvert, lefty for plate. Runner goes. Heatherly sends it down. And the catch not made in time. Did his best to glove that one on the base. Couldn't make the grab. Tyler Burnett does a good job laying out to keep that ball inside the dirt to keep the runner from advancing.
Come on, Calvert. Tie it up here.
The pitch was a strike down at the plate. Stewart on the rubber, pushes off the 0-1 pitch. And forces it too far outside for ball one. 2 outs, 1-1 count.
Come on now.
Looks like it may be, Barrett Courtright for Piedmont in the bullpen.
1-1 pitch, fouled away for strike 2. Stewart goes ahead.
Right on it, Joseph. Come on now.
Stewart reading the signs from Heatherly behind the plate. Comes to position on the mound. The 1-2 pitch.
Get away.
Two's across now with the runner on second. 2-2 pitch now from Stewart. Popped up towards center field. Brady Ballstat will make the grab. Gets in the reflection on his sunglasses out. The sun out here. This should go for Ballstat. Make the grab. Flip go across. Piedmont still leads 5-4. Heading into the bottom of the third. Burkett first for the Lions to the plate. One count off for a hit. Line drive down the third base side. That's enough for
Come out, Chris.
at least one. He's headed to second. Sliding in. Gets the pants dirty, but well worth it. As he comes in for a double.
Now batting for the Lions, number 6, Tyler Burdett.
Tyler Burdett now heading to the plate.
Burdett reached on a fielder's choice to end the inning in the first as Burkett retired at second. And for Burkett, on base for the second time after reaching on an error in the first inning.
Lefty matchup here. Fall steps and delivers a clean count pitch too far outside for ball one.
Sending Owens on the run to retrieve that one, momentum carrying him in that direction.
Good play there by Owens to keep that one from getting past the kicking runner over on second. Split scoring position. Piedmont leading by 1. Bottom of the third. Fall. Delivers the 1-0 offering. Owens out of his zone as well. 2-0 count.
shot, Jared.
Burdett in his junior season with the Lions. Awaits the 2-0 pitch. McFall readies up on the mound. Steps and delivers. Pop up towards left center field. And the catch will be made by Fisher. And through there, Burkett at second.
Hey, big out there,
Now
big out
back to the
there.
Lions, number 30, Noah Heatherly.
Noah Heatherly set to bat next. Call to the bullpen will be made by the Hawks.
Go off. What do you think? Come on, Jed.
We gave you the numbers on McFall earlier from the first game where he played against Piedmont, that coming, of course, in the regular season. McFall made it through 7 innings pitched, took a no decision. It wasn't a loss for the team. He'd given up 5 hits, 3 runs, facing 27 batters. This time, though, making it just 2 1/3 as he's responsible for Burkett. So line not final on him yet, but everything that's up on the scoreboard right now, all his, 5 runs on 8 hits.
Freshman Ethan Hess gets the nod out of the bullpen. The righty pitcher will climb the hill and got in several warm-up pitches. Here is Heatherly taking a few extra swings.
Oh, you can leave him there.
Runner on second with 1 out. Clean count to Heatherly. Bounces on the plate for ball 1.
Hess is making his 14th appearance of the season, a 2-2 win-loss record. One of those losses, though, came against Piedmont in the series opener. Had an extended appearance as that game went to 12 innings, pitched 4 2/3, giving up that walk-off game winner.
One-0 pitch to Heatherly. Finds his zone for the first strike for Hess in this contest.
And interestingly enough, it was Noah Heatherly who had the game-winning hit in that contest. An RBI single to score Brady Ballstat for a 3-2 victory.
1-1 count now to Heatherly. That one sinks into the zone for strike 2. Heatherly falls behind. Hess comes to position on the mound. 1-2 pitch. Chopper over towards the hot corner. Fielded well. And the throw to first won't connect with the glove. So Jonathan Burkett will advance on the error by the third
Now
baseman.
batting for Lions, number 10, Evan Mead.
Brings us to Evan Mead, sophomore third baseman for Piedmont. Looks down third baseline to get the signal from Coach Ball.
Get out of this thing, let's go.
Meade was just 1 for 9 against Huntington in the regular season. Right now, 1 for 1. Had a double and came around to score in the second inning.
1 out, runners on the corners. Evan Mead at the plate. Hess on the mound. Swing and a miss there for Mead for strike 1. Good placement there by Hess with the off-speed swift pitch.
Come on, Hess, come on now.
Mead now facing the 0-1 count. Chopper sent towards the shortstop, fielded well. And we'll get the out at second with the double play called off. Mead touches the bag first.
Stepping up to bat for the Lions, number 2, Caleb Norton.
That brings us to Caleb Norton, shortstop for Piedmont.
Yet again, won't be a 0 on the board as Piedmont has scored in every inning now. Working in the bottom of the third.
2 outs, 1 on. Norton at the plate. Hess delivers. Finds the outside half for strike 1.
That run is still credited to McFall as Burkett, the leadoff hitter here in the third. His double was while McFall was still in the contest.
Oh, 0-1 pitch to Norton. Also finds his own for strike 2.
Norton had a single in the second inning, was later out at second as he was caught stealing.
2 outs, 1 on, and a 2-run lead for Piedmont. The 0-2 pitch fouled away by Norton. He's off to the races to get to first in time and overthrown at first. So Norton climbs aboard as well.
Second time that we've seen a runner reach from the batter's box on a
Now batting for the
wild
Lions, number
pitch.
1, Jaden Smith.
Owens just couldn't figure out where it went. Just turned around for a bit, and Norton uses his speed to make it to first in time.
Jaden Smith now as we reach the top of the lineup for Piedmont. Clean count to Smith. First pitch a changeup, misses the zone for ball 1.
Seems like it took forever to get there compared to what we've been seeing. Hung up there for quite a while.
The off-speed pitch won't catch Smith off guard. Now 2 on and 2 outs. 1-0 pitch. Also misses out wide for ball 2.
Yet again, we see Owens having to come up out of his stance and kind of jog it off.
Sometimes you just get leaning and your momentum will take you that way. Left fielder working at the plate with a 2-0 count. Hess checks the runners, throws the pitch outside as well. 3 of them missing along that outside edge.
Wes Gullett and I talked about it earlier in the contest, how the Piedmont runners can really buy some real estate in pitchers' heads and really get in there and cause them to think more about those on the base paths than those at the plate. However, no problem finding the zone on that one.
And he switches it up and tries to find inside on that one. And finds that inside half for the first strike here against Smith. Two outs, two aboard. Hess ready's on the mound. The 3-1 pitch. Low and inside for ball 4. And Javen Smith gets the walk.
Bases loaded now with 2 outs for Justin Groover.
Now batting for Lions, number 27, Justin Groover.
Owens will climb up the battery and head to the top of the hill to have a word with Ethan Hess. He's shaking some jitters out of the freshman pitcher. Groover readies up in the batter's box. Slight open stance for Groover. That one slips between the legs of Owens. Nobody decides to run.
No chance for Meade to make it from third as Groover held up the stop signal, and, well, they're loaded everywhere else, so nowhere to go.
Groover now ahead, 1-0. 2 outs. Bases loaded. Hess readies up on the rubber. 1-0 pitch towards the head of Justin Groover. Ducks out of the way just in time.
We've seen a couple so far today where we've had some guys try to hit the deck quickly because it's coming in hot.
It took a second after that one to kind of regather his thoughts as they were shaken up a little bit from how fast he had to move. Zero pitch from Hess. Finds the top left corner of the zone for strike 1. Two-one pitch popped up, and that'll venture over the backstop for strike 2. To the cross now with bases loaded.
Finish him off here.
2-run lead for Piedmont.
All 4.
Hess readies up for the 2-2 pitch. High, and right down the middle, but loads the count, 3-2.
Hess in trouble of walking one in. Doesn't appear to be much action in the pen yet for the Hawks. Needing just 1 out.
Hess readies up on the hill. The payoff pitch. Runners go. Chopper sent out towards low. He dives and makes the grab, and the throw this time will be gloved by Fott at first. 6-4, your score. Piedmont leading it. 1 coming across the plate there in the bottom of the third. You're watching USA South Baseball Tournament, brought to you by the USA South Athletic Conference. back to the action here in USA South tournament action. Patrick Ammons and Danielle Percival with you for this one. Piedmont leading 6-4 here in the top of the fourth. Ryan Stewart still on the mound for Piedmont. Chris Fisher, the left fielder for the Hawks. Swings at that one. Meade unable to make the diving grab, so it slips through to the outfield for the base hit.
And once again, the leadoff hitter in the inning will reach for Huntington. They're 4 for 4 on that. Hasn't always been by a hit, but this is the second time that they will have a leadoff single.
So with one aboard, third baseman Corey Lowe now heads to the plate. Stewart comes to center on the mound. Bunt is shown, but pulled away as that one is outside of the zone. Ball one.
Here, let's go.
Lowe loosens back up and heads back to the box. Stewart goes for the pickoff. Won't be there in time. Fisher dives back safely. 1-0 pitch. Runner goes. Heatherly's throw there with plenty of time for out number one. It's Fisher who's caught stealing. The 2-0 pitch also misses outside for ball three. Three-0 offering from Stewart. Finally, he'll find his own here against Lowe for strike one. Low ahead, 3-1 pitch. Too far inside. Heatherly wants to step in the way of that one to keep it from venturing all the way back to the back of the backstop. So free base reach there by Corey Lowe.
We saw a similar situation for Piedmont back in the first inning where Jabin Smith had a single to get on base, but then was caught stealing, where followed up by Justin Groover making it on base, where there could have been the possibility of having two on, but now you've just got the one with one out. We'll see how it ends up affecting the inning for the Hawks.
First pitch there to Will Cosby outside of the zone, ball one. 1-0 count, one out, one aboard. Piedmont leading by two in the top of the fourth. Stewart, the 1-0 pitch. Ventures too far outside. Heatherly tries to frame that one up.
Base runner as well.
But home plate umpire not buying what he sells.
Guys, come get it.
Stewart back on the rubber. 2-0 pitch. Cosby watches this one go by as well as it's too far inside for ball three.
I feel like those last two, he's kind of struggled a little bit with his control really throughout this entire half inning. Those last two specifically, including that one, losing another to a walk. Don't think those were exactly where head coach Justin Scally wanted them, as he'll head out to have a word with his pitcher. Scally, of course, was the pitching coach at Piedmont for many years, a decade. He'll make the call to the bullpen. We'll have information for you on the new pitcher for Piedmont when we get back. You're listening to the 2018 USA South Baseball Tournament.
Barrett Courtright comes out to the mound for Piedmont Junior, right-handed pitcher. Bunt is shown and pulled away for ball 1. 2 on, 1 out. Courtright now at the top of the mound for Piedmont. Heatherly still behind the plate. One-0 pitch popped up towards right field. Justin Gruber makes the grab. The throw in, cut off by Norton. And now runners on the corners with 2 outs.
Move them up. They have a big run out there.
Now batting for Hawks, number 4, Taylor Fault.
First baseman Taylor Falk now head to the plate.
Fought had an RBI double in his last at bat, another RBI opportunity if he can put it in play.
Falk steps up in the batter's box. Courtright readies up on the hill. First pitch to Falk, called strike.
Heatherly's been holding it behind the plate, waiting for the call, as we've had some umpires that have a little bit of a delayed strike call, and, well, Heatherly doing his part. These catchers holding it, making sure that the call is favorable.
That one misses low and away for ball 1. So even count, 1-1 with 2 outs. 2 on as runners posted on the corners. Courtright ready. The 1-1 pitch. Popped up towards left field. Smith down to the warning track, and that one's all the way gone. 3-run homer for the Huntington Hawks. That'll put them ahead 7-6. Taylor Fought gets all of that one and launched it over the left field wall.
Both home runs that have been hit in this tournament so far have been 3-run bombs to left field against Piedmont. Both were the crushing blow right now. It was the kind of the deciding factor in the first game, though it went to extras, put momentum in favor of LaGrange. We'll see if it does the same for the Hawks here in this one.
DeRoe watches that one go by, but a called strike as Courtright readies up for the 0-1 pitch. This one he's fouled over the Piedmont dugout. Outside of the zone for that one, as Courtright wanted him to swing at one that was not over the plate. Ball 1. Another one fouled off for DeRoe.
Come on, kid.
Courtright comes to center. The 1-2 pitch bounces early. Ball 2. 2-2 count with 2 outs. After a base clearing home run puts Huntington ahead.
Taylor.
2-2 pitch. Sit foul out towards the Piedmont bullpen. Ventures out of the complex.
Win it here, win it now.
Two-two pitch again, high and away, and the count runs full. Court right, 3-2 pitch. Lowered inside. And that is going to be a walk for the root.
Stepping up to the plate for the Hawks is number 9, Judd Owens.
Catcher Judd Owens will walk up to the plate. 1 on. Now a 1-run lead for the Hawks. Flying inside on pitch 1 to Owens for ball 1.
We did just see number 15, Brian Whitaker, head out to the pen for Piedmont to get loose.
2 outs, court right. Ready is the 1-0 pitch. Swing. And a miss at the plate from Judd Owens.
These two playing in the loser's bracket. Loser goes home. Winner will advance to face the winner of the Ferrum Methodist game. That game coming up with an 8 o'clock scheduled start here at Cleveland Field.
1-1 pitch. Blown away, ball 2. Two-one count. Owens makes contact with this one, but ventures over the backstop. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1 runner on first. That's Chandler DeRue, who got walked.
Come on, God.
Court right, ready's up. Another 2-2 offering. Chopper sent over to Norton. And it finds his way past him. So a base hit. And then some off the air. Now 2 more in scoring position.
Now batting for the Hawks, number 7, Bradley Harris.
Bradley Harris coming to the plate. Owens
Now let's go.
reaches extra bases after Norton just missed that one completely.
Went right through his legs. Almost looked like he was
Run. Get that hurt. Now let's go.
already to the throw in his mind before he gloved it.
Harris at the plate, 2 outs, 2 aboard. Clean count to him. Paints the black on the inside edge for strike 1.
All the damage this inning has been done with 2 outs. That 3-run home run combined with a walk and an error. We've now got 2 in scoring position.
Strike 2 called, and to the dismay of both the Huntington fans and dugout. An 0-2 count is Court right ahead early. The 0-2 pitch. Wanted to get him to chase one outside, but it's ball 1.
Come on, Bradley. Find a little green out there, kid. Come on now.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Court right sends this one just a bit too low for ball 2. So another 2-2 opportunity for the Hawks. Capitalized on several already today. Harris makes contact with this one out towards right field. And it'll be Justin Groover who makes the grab. 3 come across the plate off a long bomb out over the left field wall by Taylor Fought, the first baseman for the Hawks. And this is senior season. Wants to go out with a bit of a bang here in the tournament. You're watching the USA South Baseball Tournament brought to you by the USA South Athletic Conference. Brady Ballstat leading things off for Piedmont here in the bottom of the fourth as Piedmont goes down a run after a 3-run bomb by Taylor Fought. That one bounces a good 2 feet before the batter's box for ball number 1.
Ballstat so far showing why he earned Player of the Year is 2 for 2, a single, a double, 3 RBI, a run scored, and a stolen base. That's a pretty solid outing through the first 2 innings. Now working in inning number 4 to lead off for the Lions.
1-0 pitch also bounces way too early as Ballstat ahead now. 2-0 count.
Looks like we've got some defensive changes for the Hawks. Currently getting those from our statistician crew.
2-0 pitch will finally make it past the plate, but still too low. Now the 3-0 offering. Slowly climbing as that one finds the zone. Ballstat still ahead, a 3-1 count. Hess looking to battle back. The 3-1 pitch. Ballstat sends the grounder over towards low. It bounced off his chest, so the hard hit ball can be credited with a hit.
Stepping up to bat for the Lions, number 25, Andrew Burden.
Bring up first baseman Andrew Burden. First pitch to Bird finds the bottom left corner for strike 1. One on, Burden at the plate. 0-1 pitch, just kidding. Try for the pickoff at first.
Ballstat with a stolen base earlier in this game. Not sure if that's what you were going to say.
I was going to say Ballstat diving back safely. Ballstat goes. The 0-1 pitch too far inside. Is Ballstat able to take those last few steps jogging?
2 stolen bases in the game now for Ballstat. 2 for 2. 2 check marks. Gave you the numbers on him. Coming into the tournament was 23 for 25, at least 25 of 27 now.
Quick mound visit from Owens. Fought also comes to the mound to have another word with Hess. Burden, 1-1 count. Ballstat on second now in scoring position. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, misses high and away. Ball 2.
Told you our statistician crew was getting some defensive changes. Bradley Harris, number 7 for the Hawks, has moved from second base to third base, now working the hot corner, and coming in that 9th spot in the lineup for Corey Lowe is going to be number 10, Dakota Bean, who is now your second baseman.
3-1 count now for Andrew Burden at the plate. Lions trailing by 1. Tying run on second. Lead run at the plate. Hess comes to stance on the mound. 3-1 pitch. Low and outside, and Burden gets the jog to first for free.
Now batting for loss, number 8, Joseph Calvert.
Joseph Calvert, center fielder for Huntington. It's actually Jonathan Burkett at the plate. Watches that one bounce early. Owens does a good job keeping it in front of him. Burkett working in the DH spot for Piedmont today. Hess will step off the rubber.
Let's get it out.
One-0 pitch. This one's popped up towards deep left field. Fisher backs up underneath and makes the grab. Ballstad tags up on second, dives, and is safe at third. Actually helps out the defense a little bit as that ball bounced in. Caught him on the ribs to keep it playable there for Harris, who's now covering third base. Andrew Burden also advances to second on that one after he was a little bit more delayed on the tag up, but still smart enough to get there. Brings us to the second baseman, Tyler Burdett. Two now in scoring position. Tying run on third. Called strike there on the first pitch to Burdett. One out, 2 on. Hess still up on the hill. Hess, the 0-1 pitch. Too far inside and bounces a little short again. Owens, another good job defensively keeping that ball in front to hold the runners where they stand. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 2 in scoring position and a 1-run lead for the Hawks. Hess now the 1-1 pitch. Also ventures low and inside for ball 2. Owens will jog up the battery and have a quick conversation with Hess on the mound. Burdett now facing the 2-1 count with Burden on second and Ballstat on third. 2-1 pitch, high and away for ball 3. Hess readies now for the 3-1 pitch. The delivery. Bit outside for ball 4. Free base for the Lions.
Now batting for Lions, number 30, Noah Heatherly.
Brings us to Noah Heatherly, the catcher for Piedmont. Bases loaded. Heatherly now inside the batter's box. That one bounces too far out front. Ball 1. Danielle, you mentioned earlier about the matchup between Noah Heatherly and Hess on the mound. You wonder if that first pitch going so far low is a little bit of a remembrance of what happened last time Heatherly was in this situation.
Heatherly was able to reach, was the first batter that he faced back in the third inning, reached on the E5, was later out on a fielder's choice with Evan Mead waiting on deck.
Heatherly wanted to check swing on that one, but accidentally tips the ball, so 1 strike. Now with the 1-1 count. Contact is made, and this one's high, flying out towards the Huntington bullpen. And the catch is made inside the bullpen by the pitcher warming up.
Seen a couple of those so far. Extra warm-up throw there. So they'll toss the ball back in.
So now 2 strikes for Heatherly with 1 ball, 1 out. Bases loaded. Piedmont trailing by 1 here in the bottom of the 4th. Hess readies up now. Not a huge lead anywhere for Piedmont. Heatherly contacts this one. Long ball towards the left center field. The diving catch won't be made by Calvert. Ballstack comes across. Burton comes across. Heatherly's held at third as Burkett also comes across. So a 3-run, 3-bagger for Noah Heatherly.
Bases clearing triple will put Piedmont back out in front. These two teams have played close all year, and we are seeing quite the offensive onslaught today as Piedmont now leads at 8-7.
Evan Mead up to bat now. Makes contact with the first one he sees, but it ventures foul. Looks like he caught that one off the end of the bat. Still only 1 out facing the Lions. Oh, 1 pitch, low and away.
Good.
1-1 pitch from Hess. Goes the opposite direction. That one's high and inside for ball 2. Mead readies back up in the box. Heatherly waiting for action on third. That one almost clips the front bicep of Evan Mead. So 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Noah Heatherly for the Lions on third. Just sent 3 across the plate off of his triple. Three-one pitch from Hess. This one's popped up towards shallow left. Fisher and Powell both going for it. Fisher making the ultimate call and the grab for out number 2. As Mead pops up to the left fielder.
Heatherly's still waiting out at third. Looked at the roster because Heatherly is no small man, listed at 6'2", 230, trucking it around the bases, getting to third, of course helped by the diving attempt by the center fielder, giving him a little extra cushion there, but that's a lot of man powering around the base paths.
That one's going to slip through the legs of Owens. Heatherly across cleanly. Caleb Norton now sitting with a 1-0 count. Clear base paths in front of him. As Heatherly cleared him with a triple. Got to come across the plate. 1-0 pitch. Norton shows bunt. Pulls away, ball 2. Hess now, ready's on the rubber. Duo offering. Swing and a miss from Caleb Norton.
Norton had 3 strikeouts swinging in the game against LaGrange, was 1 for 4, had a single in his first at bat, and struck out swinging in each plate appearance after.
2-1 pitch. Rides high for ball 3. Three-one pitch. Norton pops this one up towards left field. And it is in the woods behind left field as Caleb Norton smacked the laces off of that one. Little venture over the left field wall. So now 3 today have gone over that left field wall.
Stepping out to bat for the Lions, number 1, Jaden Smith.
Bring us to the top of the order for Piedmont. Left fielder Jaden Smith will come to the plate. 2 outs. Hess in a bit of a pinch here. As Piedmont now leading 11-7.
Piedmont with just 3 hits here in the frame, but have scored 5 runs.
Clean count to Smith. Shows bunt, pulls away. Ball 1.
Blue.
1-0 pitch to Smith, fouled away towards the Piedmont dugout. Lots of movement there. That looked like he came off the bat pretty quickly.
Caleb Norton with his 5th home run of the season. That is actually his 5th of his career, as he didn't have a home run until this season, and he's now tied for most on the team with Brady Ballstat. Good company.
Smith chops this one foul along the first base line. Not a bad senior year for Caleb Norton. All 5 of his home runs, you said?
That's correct.
Hess ahead, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on the inside pitch as Jaden Smith will go down swinging. Piedmont ahead, 11-7 after a 3-run RBI. Put 3 across. Heatherly comes across on a pass ball, and then a home run from Caleb Norton. You're watching USA South Baseball Tournament Action, brought to you by the USA South Athletic Conference. Joseph Calvert up to bat now. Courtwright still on the mound for Piedmont. Misses his own with that one. Calvert ahead now with a 1-0 count.
Calvert, the only batter who did not come up in the 4th inning for the Hawks.
He's got a bunt. Courtwright comes off the hill to make the grab. probably not a play he would have made last year, as he kind of went under a huge body transformation over the summer. Really, according to Coach Scally, took control of his working out and eating habits and lost quite a bit of weight.
Court right now listed at 6'205". And if you took a look at some pictures from last year, the staff joked about making a Transformation Tuesday post about him, but said he'd be a little embarrassed.
1-0 pitch popped up towards the bullpen of the Hawks, but out of play. Fisher now back to the plate. A 1-1 count. Courtright evens it up. 1-1 pitch fouled away as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Grounder sent over to Burdette, fielded well, and they threw the burden there on time for out number 2.
Now batting for the Hawks, number 10, Dakota Bean.
Dakota Bean to the plate for the Hawks. 2 outs. Courtright comes to center. The stretch. Strike 1. Courtright finds his own on that one as well. 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Come on, Bean. Come on, Bean. Battle with you in there. Come on. Keep going. Let's go here.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Courtright ready's back up on the hill. He's popped up, sent foul.
Fight it off.
One-two pitch, swing and a miss. Courtright rings him up for out number 3. Justin Groover, first to face new pitcher for the Hawks, Ryan Smith. Misses that one a little bit wide of the zone. Groover working in the right field grass for Piedmont. 1-0 pitch. That one finds that spot he was looking for strike one. Groover now sits back for the 1-2 count. 1-2 offering, line drive up the middle. And it'll hit the grass out in shallow right center for the base hit.
Now batting for the Lions, number 26, Brady Ballstadt.
Brings up Brady Ballstadt for Piedmont.
Ballstadt 3 for 3 with a double, 2 singles, 2 stolen bases, 3 RBI, and a run scored.
One on, clean count for Ballstadt. Smith misses along that outside edge. Once again, 4-1.
Smith, making just his 3rd appearance of the season, has pitched only 1 inning, gave up 3 runs on 1 hit and 4 walks.
1-0 count now for Ballstadt. And the throw to first goes errant. Groover touches second. He's headed to third. And Coach Broughton will hold him there. Now Groover deep in scoring position off the error on the throw. One 0 pitch to Ballstadt. Low and away, ball 2. Piedmont leading 11-7. As Ballstadt awaits the 2-0 pitch. That one still going wide of the zone for ball 3. (3-0) the count. Runner on third. Ballstadt never saw one he liked and got to walk to first for it. Brings us to Andrew Burden. Burden, the junior first baseman for Piedmont. Runners on the corners. No outs. Bottom of the 5th. Piedmont leads as Smith steps off the mound, pushes both runners back. Contact made. And the double play attempt fails. Groover's heading home, and he comes across the plate safely as the throw to first off the mark.
Now batting for Lions, number 8, Jonathan Burkett.
Jonathan Burkett next to the plate for Piedmont. So now Piedmont leading 12-7 here in the bottom of the fifth. One out, one on. Runner goes, and a ball hit straight up the middle for a base hit. And Burden, who is already running on the play, and now safe at third.
Nice use of the hit and run as Burden now at third with Burkett at first. Runners on the corners, and Piedmont continuing to pile it on. This, of course, an elimination game, so both of these teams fighting for their lives, battling to advance in the losers bracket. Winner of this one will move on to play at 3 o'clock tomorrow against the winner of the Ferrum Methodist game. Of course, loser heading home, so everything at stake.
First pitch too far inside for Burdett, and Burkett on first, taking a big lead on that one, but opts to move back to the base instead. 0-1 offering now to Burdett. Smith delivers. High and away for ball one. Two-step leadoff for Burkett at first. Smith comes to position on the mound. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss from Tyler Burdett at the plate. One ball, two strikes, one out with runners on the corners. Piedmont leading here in the bottom of the fifth. Contact is made and a grounder towards third. And they'll opt for the lead runner on that one as Burden tries to slide in safely at home. But Owens does a good job at getting the out. Harris fielded that one well. Didn't come off the bat super hard, but still you always expect something exciting coming to that hot corner. So now 2 outs, 2 on. And Owens will head and have a word with Ryan Smith just off the mound. Noah Heatherly back up to the plate.
Heatherly doing big things in his last at bat. Had a bases clearing triple and would later score as well.
Smith comes to center on the mound. The pickoff at second will get there in time as they get Jonathan Burkett a bit overconfident with his leadoff and unable to dive back in time. Piedmont leading 12-7 heading into the top of the sixth. You're watching USA South Baseball Tournament brought to you by the USA South Athletic Conference. top of the batting order for Huntington with Will Cosby up to the plate. Cosby reaching for free his last at bat. He was walked. Strike one as he fouls that one over the fence on the left side. So Court right ahead early. 0-1 pitch. Misses that outside edge for ball one. Courtright misses again with that one. Ball two. So 2-1 count now for Cosby, junior right fielder for Huntington. 2-1 pitch bounces along the plate. Ball three. Three-one offering. Finds his zone. Count runs full. Courtright readies up. The 3-2 pitch. Long ball sent out towards right field. Groover's tracking. That one's off the wall. Groover slips up on the warning track. And the throw in holds the runner at second. Wes Powell, the shortstop for Huntington, up to bat. Lays down a bunt and pops it up, and it'll hit the net. So strike one off the fouled off bunt attempt.
Come on, West Powell. Let's go here if they're ready.
12-7 your score. Piedmont leading. Courtright still working on the mound. The 0-1 pitch. Skims through the dirt for ball one. The 1-1 pitch pulled off as Courtright checks back with the runner.
Come on, West. Come on, West.
The 1-1 offering. Ventures high, ball two. Two one-year count. Courtright pulls back to keep the runner at bay over there on second base.
Come on, West Powell. Let's go for two. Face knock here.
2-1 pitch popped up towards the left center field. Jabin Smith comes in a few steps and makes the grab, and Cosby holds at second.
Now batting to the house, number 4, Taylor Fott.
Taylor Fott to the plate now for Huntington.
Had the 3-run home run in the fourth inning, his last at bat.
So the throwdown at second off the mark, but Ballstat able to come up and field the loose ball to hold the runner at second.
Could have spelled trouble, but lucky for the Lions, no harm in the errant throw.
Fought pulls away the bunt attempt for ball 1.
Fought already a home run and a double. Honestly, a little surprised to see that one coming anywhere near the plate.
1-0 pitch. High and inside, ball 2. Courtwright steps away from the rubber to regather himself, takes his hat off, and takes that deep breath before stepping back up the hill. Comes to center, now the 2-1 delivery. Misses that outside edge for ball 3.
Hasn't been intentional, but wouldn't be surprised if we do see a walk. Face your chances against someone else.
Courtwright readies up on the rubber. The 3-0 pitch. Finds his own for a called strike. (3-1) your count. Will Cosby awaits movement on second. The 3-1 pitch fouled over into the street.
Come on, kid.
Courtwright now battling with the full count. 1 out, 1 aboard. The payoff pitch. Line down the first base line. It'll venture foul. Courtwright stares down Heatherly. The 3-2 pitch. Finds his own and rings him up. So last at bat a home run. This at bat goes down looking.
First strikeout of the game for Courtwright.
Chandler DeRue now walks up to the plate for the Hawks. 2 outs with a runner on second. Courtwright readies up. Clean count. Check swing. And umpires say he's safe, so ball is called.
Come on, Taylor.
The 1-0 pitch. Finds the outside half. Strike 1.
Courtwright has pitched 2 innings now, giving up just 2 hits. Of course, one of those was the home run to the second batter he faced. Courtwright was on the hook for the loss, but now pitcher of winning record after the Lions able to claim the lead in the bottom of the 4th.
Courtwright steps down the hill after checking back with the runner at second. And now readies up for the 1-1 pitch. Too far inside. Heatherly tries to frame that one up, but it looked like it was a little bit too close to the dirt. So it's ball 2. Two 2-1 pitch. Again, too far towards that inside half, so ball 3 is shown. Courtwright on the hill. The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. So Chandler DeRue on board for free.
DeRue draws his 3rd walk of the game. I believe it's a combined 5 walks for the Piedmont pitching staff. 3 of those 5, just DeRue.
Maybe designated walker would be a better title for him. 2 outs, 2 aboard. Courtwright misses too far wide for ball 1.
Come on, kid.
A 1-0 pitch. Chopper sent towards Norton. Fielded in the throw to second. Burdette covers the bag there in time. Piedmont leading 12-7. You're watching the USA South Baseball Tournament, brought to you by the USA South Athletic Conference. Noah Heatherly back to the plate for Piedmont. Clean count from Smith, finds the inside half for strike one. The pickoff at second, the final out. Last time Piedmont was at bat, so Heatherly gets to face Smith again. Pops this one through the middle, and it'll drop in the grass for the Texas League single.
Now batting for the Lions, Huntington, Evan Mead.
Evan Mead scheduled to come up to the plate. And we'll see a pinch runner for Piedmont.
Number 3, Jack Mayo, pinch running for Heatherly and likely to come in to catch the remainder of this game.
(12-7) lead for Piedmont. Mayo a two-step leadoff on first. First pitch to Evan Mead, and he'll send that one back to the Piedmont dugout for strike one. Mead now readies up at the plate. The 0-1 pitch from Smith. Mead gets a hold of this one, sends a high ball out towards left field. Fisher tracks underneath it, makes the grab right before the fence. And Mayo will have to track back to first.
Looks like another 6 inches, and that one could have had the opportunity to hit the top of the wall.
Fisher was all the way back there up against the windscreen along that back fence when he made that catch. Caleb Norton set to bat now for Piedmont. One out, one on. Mayo dives back in time as the throw goes wide. Jack Mayo rounding second. The throw to third. Not there in time as Mayo with an athletic slide to get around the tag. Makes it there safely. Now Jack Mayo sits deep in scoring position with one out. Norton pops this one straight up. And the catch is made behind the plate by Owens. So out number 2. Routine pop-up there for the catcher.
Now batting for Lions, number 1, Jaden Smith.
Jabin Smith now up for Piedmont. Mayo, 2-step lead off of third as Smith pops this one over the backstop for strike 1.
Smith struck out swinging back in the 4th inning, but also has a pair of hits with a walk.
The 0-1 pitch. Grounder down the first base side, ventures foul. Smith readies up on the mound. The 0-2 pitch. High and away, Smith watches that one by. Ryan Smith delivers to Jabin Smith outside of the zone for ball 2. Two and 2 the count. Piedmont leading 12-7. 2 outs, runner on third. Jabin Smith at the plate, Ryan Smith on the mound. Steps off. Both players ready back up. Ryan Smith delivers high and away. Jabin Smith watches it goes by as the count runs full. Ryan Smith, the payoff pitch. Too high for ball 4. And Jabin Smith wanted another one. Stayed in the batter's box a little bit longer than he needed to.
Now we're all on the same page, though.
Runners on the corners. Justin Groover coming up to bat. 2 outs, 2 on. 12-7 lead for the Lions. Groover watches the first one through the zone, strike 1.
Head coach Justin Scally going along, firing up the bench for the Lions.
Ryan Smith, now the 0-1 pitch. Grounder sent up the middle. Powell fields it, flips it over to Bean for out number 3. So 2 stranded for the first scoreless half inning for Piedmont. Still leading 12-7. You're watching the USA South Baseball Tournament brought to you by the USA South Athletic Conference. Second baseman Bradley Harris at the plate for Huntington, looking to chip away at the Piedmont lead.
Go, Bradley. Push him on.
Pops it up, and Evan Mead will track that down almost all the way to the Piedmont dugout to make the catch.
Now batting for the Hawks, number 8, Joseph Calvert.
Joseph Calvert, the senior center fielder, heads to the plate. Barrett Courtwright still working on the mound for the Lions now with 1 out. Strike 1 called there against Calvert.
Courtwright has now pitched 2 1/3 innings, giving up 2 hits, 1 run, and still in line for the win.
The 0-1 offering from Courtwright. Line drive up the middle. It'll bounce, and Ballstat there to field it off the bounce. So a line drive up the middle enough for a Huntington Hawks base hit.
Come on, Chris. Everybody hits, everybody hits.
Now batting for the Hawks, number 28, Chris Fisher.
One out, one aboard. Chris Fisher at the plate.
Might have heard the phone ringing in the background. Not a call to the bullpen just yet.
One 0 pitch. Misses the zone, ball 2.
Fisher.
One out, one aboard. The 2-0 pitch from Courtwright pops back over the backstop for strike 1. Courtwright, the 2-1 pitch. Misses the zone. 3-1. Three-one pitch. Runner goes. Popped up. And 2 call for it. But the catch is made by Burdett.
Now batting for the Hawks, number 10, Dakota Bean.
Joseph Calvert almost breaking his transmission there. He threw it in reverse so quickly to get back to first base. Bunt fouled away for strike 1.
Come on, Bean.
One on, 2 outs. Courtwright readies up. The 0-1 pitch. Just a bit outside, ball 1.
Going up.
1-1 pitch. Pop up towards shallow left. Norton calls it off and makes the grab for out number 3. Piedmont leading 12-7. You're watching the USA South Baseball Tournament, brought to you by the USA South Athletic Conference. Brady Ballstad up for Piedmont, leading 12-7 over the Hawks here in tournament action. Elimination game here in LaGrange. And both teams in a win-or-go-home situation. Bottom of the 7th. And 2 balls to Ballstad. Two-0 count. Ballstad chases that one for strike one.
Ballstad walked in his last at bat back in the 5th inning, out on a fielder's choice on the next batter.
2-1 pitch. That one bounces outside. Shannon Darnell now working on the mound for the Hawks.
Both teams for the next contest joining us in the stadium now. Attendance just increased by about 70.
The 3-1 pitch to Ballstad misses high and away, so Ballstad gets another walk.
Back-to-back walks, and the 3rd walk issued by Ryan Smith. Smith has had his longest outing of the season, though.
Put him up, guy.
Burton smacks this one towards left field. Fisher tracks underneath and makes the grab, and Ballstad trots back. One out now with one aboard.
Stepping up to the plate for the Lions, number 8, Jonathan Burkett.
Jonathan Burkett now at the plate for Piedmont. Burden diving back safely off the pickoff attempt. Burden 2 steps off first base. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss.
Burkett, a pair of hits today, a double and a single. The single coming in his last at bat, but then was picked off at second for the final out of the 5th.
Burden diving back safely. One bounces outside the zone for ball 2. Piedmont leading 12-7 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Another game of action coming your way. You don't want to miss it. Ferrum taking on Methodist. Top-seeded Methodist lost earlier today in the 10 a.m. game. Long day for the Monarchs. Getting ready to get underway. It's supposed to be at 8 o'clock. It'll be a little after as it's 7:51. But be sure to stay tuned for that action later tonight.
Burkett strikes out. So Tyler Burdett.
Stepping up to the plate for the Lions, number 6, Tyler Burdett.
Two outs, one aboard. Smith, the clean count pitch. Runner goes. Throw down off the mark, so Burden sliding in safely. A call is a strike at the plate. A pitch too far inside as Ballstat racking up another stolen base here in tournament action. So 1-1 count now for Tyler Burdett. One pitch, check swing, but a called strike.
Ryan.
1-2 count now for Burdett. Chopper sent over to Fott. Fott fields it, and the flip to Smith will get the out. Piedmont leading 12-7 heading into the 8th inning. You're watching the USA South Baseball Tournament brought to you by the USA South Athletic Conference. Switch up on the left side for Piedmont is Adams coming in for third base. And Cameron Johnson in left field. Cosby watches that one miss the zone. 4-2. The 2-0 pitch from Courtright finds the zone for a called strike.
Coming up here, welcome now.
2-1 pitch. Off the mark, ball 3.
3-1 offering. Too far to the outside, and Courtwright's giving up another walk. Coach Scally will head out to the mound and make a call to the bullpen. So we'll get that new Piedmont pitcher's information to you after a quick break. You're watching the USA South Baseball Tournament brought to you by the USA South Athletic Conference. Coming out of the Piedmont bullpen, it's Brian Whitaker, the junior righty for the Lions. Line drive up the first base side. Bounces just fair. The third base coach sending him around, but they hold up. It's another quick stop there. And a stand-up double for Wes Powell.
Whitaker making his 12th appearance of the season with a 4.08 ERA, has pitched 17 2/3 innings.
Whitaker ready's on the rubber. High and inside for ball one. Jack Mayo working behind the plate for Piedmont. And that one's fouled away.
Relax and hit here, bud. Let's go now.
Whitaker now evens the count 1-1. 2 on, no outs. Swing and a miss at the plate. Taylor fought, wanted a lot of that one, but got none.
Right spot, Taylor. Come on now.
Whitaker readies up on the mound. The 1-2 pitch. Off the outside edge for ball 2.
Taylor.
2-2 pitch. Fouled away and Font stays alive. Even 2-2 count, no outs with 2 on. 2-2 pitch, the changeup popped up out towards left center field. Johnson and Ballstat both tracking down. It's Ballstat who makes the grab, and he throws it in, but one will cross. Top of the 8th, and one comes across for the Hawks. Piedmont leading by 4 with 1 out. Chandler LaRue to the plate. Runner on second. Strike 1 on the first pitch that LaRue sees from Brian Whitaker. Oh, 1 pitch. High and away, and DeRue rightly watches that one by.
Come on, Taylor.
Fouled away on the 1-1 pitch for strike 2.
Come on, 4-6.
Whitaker readies up on the mound. The 1-2 pitch. Choppers in towards first base. Burden comes up and makes the unassisted out at first. 2 outs. A runner on third now as Whitaker has the ball in his glove and he heads up the hill.
Now batting for the Hawks, number 9, Judd Owens.
Catcher Judd Owens up to bat for Huntington. First one misses the zone, ball 1.
Come on, Judd. Come on, Judd. Hey, stand, kid.
Whitaker comes to position. The 1-0 pitch, too far outside, ball 2.
Come on, Judd. Need that run. Need that run, Judd.
4-run advantage for Piedmont. 2 outs. Top of the 8th inning. Whitaker, the 2-0 pitch, high and inside, and ball 3 is called, so Jack Mayo will jog out to the grass to have a word with Whitaker. Whitaker down with a 3-0 count, favoring Owens at the plate. Owens readies, Whitaker delivers. High and inside, ball 4, and Owens now with a walk puts runners on the corners.
Stepping up to the plate for the Hawks, number 7, Bradley Harris.
Looks like we may see a pinch runner. Number 20, Garrett Headley appears will be heading out to pinch run.
Two outs, runners on the corners. Clean count towards Harris. Whitaker steps off to push the runner back. 2.5 step lead off first. Whitaker sends that one past the catcher to throw to home, safe. Two have come across now, and run differentials to 3. Bradley Harris in his freshman season with Huntington. The 1-0 pitch. Grounder sent to shortstop. Norton goes for the throw at third, but the runner is safe.
Stepping up to back in the box, number 7, Bradley Harris. Question number 8, Joseph Calvert.
Joseph Calvert scheduled to head to the plate, not before Coach Scally steps out of the dugout, and will make another pitching change. So we'll get you that information after we take a quick break. You're watching the USA South Baseball Tournament, brought to you by the USA South Athletic Conference. Number 43, Matt Vonderschmidt, the junior righty, steps up the hill for Piedmont with 2 outs and runners on the corners. It's Joseph Calvert first to face him, as the tying run is at the plate. First official pitch from Vonderschmidt a called strike.
Vonderschmidt did not see action in the first game of the day for the Lions, but I believe he did come in and pitch in the game yesterday.
Mayo does a good job keeping that one in front as it misses the zone for ball one.
Vonderschmidt gave up a pair of runs on 4 hits in game 1 against Maryville.
Contact is made, and it's a pop-up out towards Cameron Johnson, who tracks into foul territory and gets out number 3. So Vonderschmidt came in and got the job done. Piedmont leading 12-9 heading into the bottom of the 8th. You're watching the USA South Baseball Tournament, brought to you by the USA South Athletic Conference. Jack Mayo to the plate for Piedmont. Bottom of the 8th, Piedmont leading 12-9 here in elimination action in the USA South Conference Tournament. Mayo gets a hold of this one, sends it out to right center field. Calvert and Cosby both can't get there in time. Mayo's headed to third. Rounding second, and he's off to the races. Sliding in safely at third, it's Jack Mayo with the triple.
Now batting for the Lions, number 31, Austin Adams.
Austin Adams next to bat for Piedmont. That one gets past the catcher, and Mayo able to cross home plate off the errant throw to the pitcher trying to cover the plate.
For Jack Mayo, that's his first extra base hit of the season.
And a beautiful one of that as it hit the fence out there in right center field. And he gets to come all the way across the plate and get the helmet tap from Coach Scally as he walks back to the dugout. Adams pops this one up towards shallow right. 3 are going for it, but it's going to be Cosby that comes up and makes the play for out number 1.
Now batting for the Lions, number 2, Caleb Norton.
Caleb Norton up to bat now for Piedmont. The senior with a home run earlier today. Watches that one missed the zone for ball one. The 1-0 pitch. Popped up again towards the right side. Fought will track that one in foul territory and make the grab for out number 2. So back-to-back fly balls over towards the right side will be 2 outs for Piedmont. Leading 13-9 now in the bottom of the 8th. Cameron Johnson, who came in at left field last defensive stint, will now head to the plate. Watches that one through the zone, strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. Grounder over towards Bean. He fields it well and throws it over to Fott. So Mayo, the only one to record a hit there, and a good one at that, as he got that 3-bagger. Piedmont leading 13-9 heading into the 9th inning. You're watching the USA South Baseball Tournament, brought to you by the USA South Athletic Conference. Vonderschmidt still on the mound, throws one down the middle for strike 1 to Chris Fisher. Time is called at the plate, so Vonderschmidt will step off the rubber. Both reset now as Vonderschmidt comes to center, the 0-1 pitch. Too far outside the zone, ball 1. The 1-1 pitch, swing, and a miss at the plate from Chris Fisher. 1 ball, 2 strikes now for Fisher. The 1-2 pitch, grounder rolls foul. One, 2 pitch, swing and a miss at the plate. Chris Fisher goes down swinging here in the top of the 9th for the out number 1.
Now batting to the Hawks, number 10, Dakota Bean.
Dakota Bean up to bat now. Shows bunt, pulls away. Ball 1. One 1-0 pitch, grounder sent towards Burdette, fielded, and the throw to Burden there on time for out number 2.
Come on, Will.
Now batting for the Hawks, number 12, Will Cosby.
Top of the batting order for the Hawks now as Will Cosby steps up to the plate. First pitch, low and away, ball 1.
Come on, 12. Let's go here. Come on, God.
One 0 pitch. Misses the zone as well, ball 2.
Way on, Will. Come on now.
Two 0 pitch. Too far to the inside. And that's ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Piedmont leading 13-9 here in the top of the 9th inning. Vonderschmidt will give up a walk as Powell gets on, Cosby rather, gets on for 3.
Come on, Wes. Gotta come to you.
Wes Powell, the shortstop, steps into the batter's box for the Hawks. 1 on, 2 outs. Powell watches that one go by, but the wrong choice by the batter. Strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball sneaks into the zone for strike 2. Vonderschmidt 1 out away from moving on.
Come on, Wes. Only takes one.
Vonderschmidt readies up on the rubber. The 0-2 pitch. Breaks to the inside, but not far enough. Ball 1. Two outs with 1 on. Top of the 9th. Piedmont leads 13-9. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He'll go down swinging. Matt Vonderschmidt strikes out the last batter of the contest. Piedmont wins this one 13-9. And they're moving on.
Tomorrow we've got a full slate of action. Don't forget, we've got one more coming up tonight, though, as Ferrum takes on Methodist. That game set to start at the completion of this one. Piedmont moving on in the loser's bracket. They'll take on the winner of that Ferrum Methodist game. That game tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow at noon, though, as NC Wesleyan will take on LaGrange in the winner's bracket. 3 games on the slate tomorrow, noon, 3, and 6 on the schedule. Full day of action across the USA South tournament. Make sure to tune in to usasouth.net for full information on schedules for live stats and video as well. Piedmont takes it by a final score of 13-9. Thanks for tuning in and watching the 2018 USA South Baseball Tournament in Game 9, Game 10 coming up as Ferrum takes on Methodist. That is just ahead. Thanks for joining us. For Patrick Havens, I'm Danielle Percival. We'll see you back here in just about 30 minutes.